I have a basketball obsession. It's really embarrassing.
Cheese.
All right, guys, and welcome back to NBA Shorts with me, Jacob McCormick, on the line, and I am your host, Trey Daubert. We're going to talk about one topic here. The Denver Nuggets just cut Isaiah Thomas from the rotation. Jacob, is that a mistake?
No, it is definitely not. Definitely not a mistake. It may have been. It's tough to say that it was a mistake. They brought him back, but yeah, not a mistake to take him out.
I'm going to agree with an obvious agree.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people they just praise this guy, praise him like he was the greatest thing ever. He's shooting 37%, 27% from the three-point line. He's the worst defender in the league. He's a total liability. And it's one thing to not be able to rebound, but he can't rebound at all. I don't understand how people even consider this guy a good player. He's just not.
Yeah, he's a very one-dimensional offensive player who happens to be shorter, like the shortest player in the NBA. So there's not a lot that go. I mean, people always feel like they have to bring up the caveat of like how he played in Boston, and you know that's cool and all. And I mean, yeah, like the situation was what it was. He played through an injury. He got traded. He didn't get the huge payday that a lot of people thought he was going to get. Not sure if he would have actually gotten it, but at this point, but the thing is, the one thing I did want to say is I don't think the chance that Denver took on him was a bad chance. They're only paying him $2 million for 1 year. So he kind of just is out of the rotation. You don't have to worry about him. Use him as an emergency in the playoffs if you need him. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much left for him besides the series of vet minimum 1 year deals for the rest of his career.
The thing I've never understood is I don't know, the media has felt bad for him or something. Is that the right way to put it? But it seems like they've always catered to him or always thought that he deserved more attention or more praise. Or they say, oh, the Celtics treated him wrong. He should be sending thank you letters to Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens every single day because that's the only place he's ever played well in. Sacramento, he was a nobody. Phoenix, he's a nobody. Goes to Boston, plays well, plays his ass off. Goes to the Cavs, stinks. Goes to the Lakers, stinks. And goes to the Nuggets, stinks. I don't understand Isaiah throwing Danny Ainge or Brad Stevens or ever saying anything bad about them because that's the only place he's ever played well. And that's the only reason why anyone ever talks about him.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely like he's I'm sure, you know, he should be thankful for them. I'm sure he is. You know, it's tough to, I mean, you know, people just feel the need because obviously he's always been the shortest player in the NBA, basically. He's been kind of a nobody believes in us. He was the last pick in the draft. There's a lot of things that check the box or that they're in the column of like nobody believes in us, you know, not to take a, you know, comment from Bill Simmons. He always says nobody believes in us about everything, but that's kind of what everybody holds on to and when they're making justifications for him or excuses for him. And I mean, the dude's had a couple of good seasons. He's been in the NBA longer than anybody projected him as the 60th pick in the draft. So I don't think it's just a player. It's the players only mentality within the NBA is that you're not going to get a player that's going to talk bad about him or that's going to say, you know, maybe he should be out of the league because they're always going to bring it back to the contract situation because players have each other's backs a lot of times and he's a well-liked guy. So I can see both sides of it, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and just try to justify him being, you know, in the rotation when he shouldn't be.
Let's go back to the Nuggets for a second. Monte Morris has actually been a really good player.
Yes.
He's averaging 0.7 turnovers per 24 minutes on the floor. That's incredible. But the question I really wanted to ask is, are the Nuggets prime for a first-round upset?
Yes. Also love Monte Morris. Want to get that out there. But I do think they are. I think they're very, I guess, on the edge of that kind of upset bubble. You know, the Clippers, Utah, San Antonio, they're all bouncing around there in the 6, 7, and 8. I think if the Clippers or Utah faces them as the 2-7 matchup, I think they have something to be worried about. And even with San Antonio, it's a team that hadn't been to the playoffs in forever, at least with this crew of guys, versus a team that always makes the playoffs in San Antonio. So it's going to be a tough regardless, but I definitely think they'd be the highest likelihood that I'd see, or the highest seed being upset.
Yeah, I think they're on major upset alert. Major upset alert. I don't believe in this Nuggets team at all. I just don't think they're that good. But I do love Monte Morris. I just wanted to give him some.
Right. But, I mean, if they play somebody like the Spurs, I could see them just out-talenting them, if that's going to be a term. I mean, like you have Marcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan who are just going to live in the mid-range. So if the Nuggets shoot well in that series, it could be a 5-game series. And you could be like, well, we shouldn't have worried about them. But I think it's, like you said, they're ripe for an upset.
Visit the website, vendettasportsmedia.com. Go give Jacob McCormick a follow at Jacob McCormick _. Give me a follow at Trey Daubert, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.